Hi, welcome back to Books Like Fun. I'm Bo, and today I'm going to do the Curio tag. It was created by Will Chambers, and I will link his channel down in the description box. But the first time I saw this tag was with Book Time with Elvis. I'll link his channel in the description box too. I think it's interesting what people choose to display on their shelves. I don't know what it says about people, but I do think it's interesting. My mom used to have a curio cabinet where all of her interesting things were, but I don't have a curio cabinet. So I'm gonna show you all the cool stuff I have on my bookshelves. These first items are from my mama. She gave them to me a long time ago when I was a kid, and they're part of a set. It was two sets of old people, and one set was sitting down and one set was standing up. I have the old man sitting down reading a book and the old lady standing up. And my sister has the opposite. So she has the old man standing up and the old lady sitting down. I can't believe I still have these. She gave them to me many, many years ago, and they've survived many moves. They even survived moving across the country with me from Ohio to California. I'm glad I still have them. My mama passed away in August, and I was able to visit her one last time in July. She got to meet my youngest daughter when I was there, and she got to see my teenage daughter as well. We also got to see my Aunt Brenda and my cousin Lisa. I haven't seen them in a really long time, so it was really nice to see everybody while I was there. These next two items, I'm not 100% sure where they came from. I think my mom probably gave them to me. And I used to love lambs. I had a stuffed lamb that had a music box in it. Wish I still had that thing. Don't know where that went. But these two things have been sitting on my bookshelf for decades, probably. And they've just kind of always been there. I don't really remember when I got them. Next on my shelf is a music box that my mom gave me. And next to that is a mini vase that has a feather in it from a bird I used to have when I was younger. I want to say I was like 11 when I got her. I actually had two birds. The first one was named Chester. One day my dad left the kitchen window open and Chester the bird flew out the window. We couldn't find him. So my dad got me another bird and we named her Buddy. Don't ask me why we named her Buddy. I don't know. When I was a kid, I also had a dog named Buddy and a rabbit named Buddy. So I just don't think I was very creative with names of animals back then. But Buddy the bird used to love to sit on my foot while I was watching TV, and I used to give her baths. Like, I would make the tub like a bird bath and she'd splash around, and then I'd wrap her up in a towel and she'd fall asleep. That was the coolest thing ever, to have a bird fall asleep wrapped in a towel. It was neat. But I loved that bird. I don't think my brother cared for her much. I'm not sure my sister cared for her much either. Birds make a lot of noise, but I liked her. And I was devastated when she died. So I kept a feather and I put it in that little vase. This bunny reading a book my mom gave me. She used to give me all kinds of knickknacks where the character was either reading a book or playing the flute. I used to play the flute when I was younger. Here is an example of one of the flute knickknacks that my mom gave me. I used to have a lot more of them. I think they're somewhere. They might be in a box somewhere that I haven't unpacked yet. I'm not sure where they all are. Maybe there's still some in the attic at my parents' house. I don't know. I should look next time I'm there. So I used to collect a lot of knickknacks where the character was playing flute. And I used to have one out of metal, and it was made out of like bolts and wires or nails or something. It was really neat. And I hope it's either in a box here somewhere or in my parents' attic, because I would love to find that one, because that one was really cool. This black cat candle holder my husband got me. It holds a tea light candle. I don't ever light it because it sits on my bookshelf and I don't want to catch the whole house on fire. So I still need to read the book that's sitting behind it, Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. I bought that book because of the title. If anyone else out there has read or watched Macbeth, you'll know that there's a very famous soliloquy with those words, tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day. Anyone know that? from Macbeth. I love that play. I don't know what the book's about. I just bought it because of the title. So let me know in the chat box if that's a good book. Maybe I should read that next. But I love the play Macbeth, and I want to do some videos where I talk about the movie versions of Macbeth. Let me know if you're interested in hearing anything about that. I have a bunch of different movie versions of Macbeth that I would love to talk about. This, my brother bought me while he was stationed in Japan. He was there while he was in the Marines, and he also brought me home a really awesome blanket that I still have and still use sometimes. I don't know if he knows that I still have these things. Maybe I should tell him that. But I've always loved this little thing. It plays music, but it's not a music box. So it has one of those things that twists up on the bottom, and it has a lever on the back that turns music on or off. I'll play a little bit of it for you here. I've always thought that song was pretty. These are wooden Buddha statues that my parents always had hanging around, and I always liked looking at them when I was a kid. There used to be more of them in different sizes. I don't remember how many there were. Maybe 6 different sizes. And I have 2 of the big ones here. And I have another little one that's about this big somewhere. I'm not sure where that is, but I know I have it somewhere. But when I was moving to California, I asked my mom if I could have them, and she said yeah. So they're sitting on my shelf. I got this sculpture when I had my first child. My mom bought me this wooden sculpture, and I've always liked that statue, even though the marriage didn't work out. I refuse to let the destruction of that marriage ruin what this sculpture means to me. These 2 items were gifts from a Once Upon a Book Club box, 2 different boxes. The candle was in one of the Halloween boxes. I think the bath salts were from the Christmas Advent box, and I haven't decided what I'm gonna do with them yet. That's why they're just sitting on my bookshelf. I have these 2 little guys because I love avocados. The one on the left on the shelf is a keychain, and I don't know about anybody else, but I just get happy when I see their cute little faces. I love seeing stuffed things with cute little faces that don't normally have cute little faces, like avocados. And the little smiles and the rosy cheeks make my heart happy. I have 3 yoga skeletons. Really 2 of them are mine. The other one's my daughter's. I got them at Michael's, and I looked for more of them over the years, but they have different Halloween stuff every time I go to Michael's. They have different decorations every year, and I wish they would have these again so I could get more poses, because I really like these. The one sitting cross-legged with the hands on the knees belongs to my daughter, and it fell at some point, so the left hand broke off. I need to glue it for her. I haven't done that yet. And the other 2 are mine, and they always stay on my shelves. They're not just for Halloween. And the green owl sitting next to them, I bought on Etsy. I don't know what kind of stone it is, but I'm a teacher and I really like owls, so I had to have it. I keep meaning to bring it up to my office where I am now and put it on my desk. I teach online and I work from home, so I like having stuff on my desk that makes me happy, and I really like that owl. The skulls sitting next to it are lip gloss. And I used to buy those EOS lip gloss. Is that how you say that? I think it's EOS, in the round shape. And then for some reason it was hard to find the round ones, and they had the stick version. They're the same flavors, but for some reason I like the round ones better. And I didn't like the stick ones as much, so I wanted to find something similar, and I came across those skulls because they had a similar flavor to the EOS ones. So those are fun. These next 2 gifts were from Once Upon a Book Club boxes. The To Be Read jar is from one of the Advent boxes, and the hourglass was from the Christmas Witch box, I think. And I don't know what I'm gonna do with the hourglass. The only time I've ever used an hourglass is in a board game when they had those really small ones that were like 1 to 3 minutes long. But this one is pretty. I don't know if I will ever use the to be read jar the way it's intended. I have a lot of books on my shelf that I haven't read yet. And if I tried to put all of the names of the books that I haven't read yet, it wouldn't all fit in that jar. I guess I could just put a few at a time and work my way through them and fill it up as I need to. I don't know. Tell me in the chat box, what do you think I could use it for, or tell me how you use to be read jars. So next to my to be read jar, I have a stuffed There Was an Old Lady Who Swallowed a Fly doll. And it has little beanbag animals for each animal of the story. Does anyone remember that story? I bought 2 versions of this book because the first version I bought was an edited version. They changed the words. I don't know if someone found it offensive or what, but they changed the words to the song, and I wanted the original version. So eventually I found this one, had the original words to the story, and the little beanbag animals can be put in the old lady's mouth and they stay in there when not being used. It's a fun interactive toy. My 2-year-old loves it, and it was one of my favorite stories growing up. My teenage daughter crocheted me this turtle. She made the shell orange because my favorite Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle is Michelangelo, and she is so amazing, and I appreciate that she thinks of me whenever she crochets things. And that's not the only thing she's crocheted me either. I have a little bear over there that I don't have a picture of, but maybe I'll add the picture of the bear over there. It's holding a heart. It's cute, so I'll put the picture of that bear up as well. And then my Duolingo owl sits on my shelf. My husband and I have both been using Duolingo since about 2015. My husband has been learning French and I have been learning German. My husband spends a lot more time learning French than I do learning German. So he's much better at it than I am. If I spend more time learning German, I could probably speak it better. My husband immerses himself in French when he's learning it. He listens to songs and podcasts and news in French. He listens to movies in French. He'll dub them in French so he can just get that language every which way. And I really should do that with German. I was watching a show on Netflix that's originally in German, so I wouldn't have to dub it. It's just originally in German. I think it was called Dark. It's a good show so far. This hand I got at Michael's too, the same time I got the yoga skeletons. And they had really great Halloween decorations that year. And it also stays on my shelf all year long, not just for Halloween. These are our lanterns for when the power goes out. Those live on my bookshelf as well. The one on the right is an LED light. When you pull the handles up, it slides out and turns on, and it's super bright. And the one on the left I got in a Halloween box from Once Upon a Book Club. I think it was the Hemlock Island book box. And we haven't needed them yet, and I hope we don't need them, but it is good to have them just in case. But the LED one's awesome. I think you can find it on Amazon, but that's really awesome. If you need some kind of lantern or something in case the power goes out, I really recommend those LED ones. This box here, my daughter made for an art competition. There was some kind of theme. It was something about being able to see within, and she has a lot of things in there that she likes that represent her. This was several years ago that she did this art competition. And she said it was like looking into herself, and I think her submission was amazing. So all that stuff was downstairs on my bookshelves in the living room. The rest of this is stuff that's on my bookshelves in my office, and you can even see some of it behind me here. So the first thing is a glass scorpion, and I'm a Scorpio, so of course I have a scorpion. I think my mom gave it to me, probably. I've had it for a while. This guy, my husband gave me. He's an alien, and he is from Roswell, New Mexico. My husband went to Roswell, New Mexico, so of course he had to bring me back an alien. One of these days I will also get to visit Roswell myself. The bear next to the alien I got at a Rascal Flatts concert many, many years ago. The apple that I'm gonna put a picture of, you can actually see behind me on the shelf as well. My sister knit me that apple when I graduated from college and became a teacher, so it stays on my shelf in my office so I can see it when I'm working, because like I said before, I'm a teacher and apples are a symbol, a teacher symbol. This monkey totem I saw on an episode of Charmed a long time ago. Season 5, episode 20, Sense and Sensibility. In that episode, there's an old crone and she steals the charmed one's senses. And I always liked that episode and I liked that totem. So I looked to see if there was anything like it online and I found one on eBay, and I couldn't believe that I found one that looks just like the one on the show. And next to the monkey totem is a drawing of me that my teenage daughter did. And I think she did a great job. It has an orange hoodie. Orange is my favorite color, and she's holding a coffee cup, and I love my coffee. So I think she did a great job on that. So I had to frame it and put it in my office. Next is the Amish doll that my sister gave to my daughter. And somehow it ended up on my shelf in my office. I don't know how, so she just sits there. But my sister bought it from the Amish, and they don't put faces on their dolls. It encourages humility and prevents pride and vanity to not have faces on dolls. Tell me what you think. Cool? Creepy? What? Next are my Try Guys figures. I have all 4 of them, and I even still have Ned. I know some people have gotten rid of their Ned figure. I saw a post somewhere where the Ned figure was at Goodwill. But I used to watch them all the time. I've watched them since they were on BuzzFeed, and I was happy for them when they started their own channel. Lately, their videos have been different than they used to be. Their videos used to be a lot more fun. I do like Jared and Quasey and Johnny Cakes, but I think the videos that had all 4 of the Try Guys were a lot better, but since Ned had to leave, the videos just don't have the same dynamic. But I really do love Jared and Quasey and Johnny Cakes, so hopefully they're in more stuff. Also, next to my Try Guys figures, I have Keith's perfectly normal business human, who's really a bird. And at the moment, I think it's wearing the Eugene face. Next are my Sanderson sister Funko Pops. They sit in the middle section of my bookshelf on the top, and they're some of my favorite witches. That was one of my favorite movies growing up. And I really liked the second one too, but I love the Sanderson sisters. I even have a purse that has the Sanderson sisters on it. It's cool. And I also have a Wednesday Addams Funko Pop. This is a recent addition to my shelf. I've loved the Addams Family for practically my whole life. I saw the older Addams Family show, the black and white one, but I really liked the Christina Ricci version. And those were my favorite movies for a really long time. So I was super happy when the show Wednesday came out, and I can't wait for the next season. I think the relationship between Wednesday and Enid was super touching, and Wednesday really started to care for her. It was so sweet. And I also really like Thing. I've always liked Thing, but I like the Wednesday show version of Thing. But I read somewhere that they made up the language that Thing used, and I would love to see Thing use actual sign language. I know a lot of signs use 2 hands, but people do sign with 1 hand if they have stuff in their hands, or if they have a kid in their hand, or if they're driving or something. They could sign with 1 hand. They could make it work. I know a lot of signs also rely on facial expressions, and Thing doesn't have a face, but I think they could get around that by having Thing be more forceful with the signs, or gentler or softer, or depending on the sign and what the meaning was. I think if they really wanted to use real signs, they could figure it out. And I'm not an expert. I'm not fluent in sign language. I know a few signs, not fluent at all, so I am not an expert, but it would be neat for the community who uses sign to be able to see real sign in that show. This guy here is my stuffed Baphomet. He's so cute, and he hangs out on my shelf. He's a symbol of balance and unity, and he's really soft and fun to snuggle with him if I'm having a bad day. And these little guys here are my Worry Warts. Karis Cuttlefish makes them. I'm gonna link her channel in the description box as well. And they hang out on my desk. And they're meant to worry for me, so I don't have to worry so much. I think the UFO is my favorite. The garlic and the pickle were the first ones that I got. And if you want any of these Worry Warts, they sell out super fast. When she restocks her shop, they sell out in minutes. So you have to be really fast to get them. This is my Macbeth Lego guy that my kids made me when we went to Legoland years ago. It's my favorite play in the whole wide world. So my kids wanted to make me a Lego guy that looked like Macbeth with the crown and the dagger. He's wearing a hoodie, but you know, I mean, whatever. I have several different movie versions. I teach this play 3 times a year, every year. So I practically have it memorized. He sits on my desk next to my Worry Warts. I'm not sure where I got this cat. It's some kind of carved stone. It also sits on my desk next to Macbeth. This Among Us guy was in my stocking this last Christmas, and he's a new addition to my desk. So he also sits next to the cat and Macbeth. I got to play Among Us with my daughter and her friends at my daughter's birthday party, so that was fun. So thanks for that. This elephant, I'm not sure where I got. It's been with my stuff for a really long time. I like him. He's very calming. Sometimes I'll pick him up and I'll use him like a worry stone. And he's pretty heavy for his size. He's only like this big, but he's pretty heavy. And this last item that I'm gonna share is called a Seed of Happiness. My sister bought it for me when I graduated with my master's degree. My sister's amazing, and she really supports me in the things that I do. So this Seed of Happiness sits on my desk along with my Worry Warts and Macbeth and the cat and the elephant, so I can see it every day, and it makes me happy. I love to know that I have a great family and a great support system. So I hope you enjoyed taking a tour of all the weird stuff I have on my shelves, all the curiosities. If you also would like to share the stuff on your shelves, please do this tag. I would love to see everyone else's bookshelves as well. And I will show panning of my bookshelves as I'm talking here. If you want to watch any of my other videos, click whatever shows up over here. I'll see you next time. Bye.